Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Growing Clip Bonsai for Seniors. I don't have my mic, so if I fade in and out until I can get a new microphone, I just got the iPad with the voice. Today is September 7th of 2023. It's Thursday. It's 67 degrees Fahrenheit or 19 degrees Celsius at 10 p.m. We're doing a Gardenia Jasminoides or a Cape Jasmine or a Gardenia. It grows 1 to 10 feet tall or 30 centimeters to 3 meters tall. It's native to Asia. It's been cultivated in China for at least 1,000 years. Folk remedy, and it's used as a folk remedy in China called Zhi, something like that. In 1271 to 1368 in the Hun Dynasty was seen on lacquerware. And then in 1368 to 1644 on porcelain in the Ming Dynasty. The lowest temperature that you can leave this out is at 41 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius. It likes full to part sun. It likes a fast draining acid-based soil of about 5 to 6.5 pH. So what I'm doing is using 2 parts pine bark, which is about a pH of 4 to 5.0, 2 parts peat moss, which is 4.0 pH, 1 part worm castings, and 5 parts perlite. So let's see how that's going to go about, and I'll show it to you because this, I had to do it now. They says do it in the spring, but it's turning yellow, and the pot was full of roots and hardly any soil. I had to do it outside. I tried to see what I can get, but I put a screen in. I got a pink mesh screen. So this way here you can see what the screen looks like on the bottom, even though it's got a nice mesh there. But this is a little bit finer. It's a 7-count mesh. So let's get working on our gardenia. As you can see how big it is, but you can see the root system is really tight. I mean super, 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 super tight. Look at that. There's hardly any room for anything to grow. So we got a branch coming out here, but we don't want to use that. So I'm going to take my ironwood needle nose pruner, because you know nothing cuts wood like ironwood. I can use that later on as a cutting. And then, I don't know if you can see it, you can see right here where it's starting to grow new branches. It's got up there too and one down here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it to the lowest one here at a 45. A 45 on this one. And then you can see the new branches coming up. But so you can see it better, I'm going to cut these big leaves in half. This is a yellowing leaf. So let's see if I can, let me get a little lower for you. Let me get this leaf off. It's all yellow. This one off, it's all yellow. Let's get this one to about here. I'm going to take this one off because it's pukey. This one's a little bit because we're going to do a lot of root work on this one. So, let me get this here. I'm going to put some water in here so I can see if I can root it. You never know. Gonna say, Tom, what about the frog? Oh, I still got my Myrtus in there. Because I haven't had a chance to do nothing. I had arthritis in the foot and in the shoulder, so I couldn't move around that much. Arthritis in the left shoulder is better today. So at least I can move a little bit. Now, what are we going to do with this big conglomeration of roots? Well, first thing I'm going to do is cut it about here. But you can see I'm going to use this as a twin trunk. But I'm going to have to see if I can cut it through here. So then we can try to take the roots out. Can you see it? There you go. And then we can try raking this out. I'm not going to do no underwater raking on this one because this one's tough as nails. And remember, if you want an ironwood long nose pruner, just go to Ironwood Tools and type in my last name, N-O-W-A-K, for a little percentage off. I forgot how much. There we go. Let's cut this. There we go. We gotta cut it. Cut it. Okay, we'll put this on the side here. Now, can we get all these roots out? That's going to be the problem here. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. This is tough as nails. So we're just going to really go in there, fire your root rake in. I'm using my steak fork. Fire it in, try to get them out of there. Try to loosen that soil up. Just fire it in, fire it in, fire it in. There we go. Just fire it in, fire it in, fire it in, fire it in. You gotta get it fired in. You gotta get these roots all loosened up because they're so conglomerated here. I don't know if I can do a lot to it. There we go. Probably should have. Well, I'm going to have to use my needle nose so I can just start cutting the sides here. Maybe I can cut it this way. I don't want to ruin the blade on there. But I'll always sharpen it at the end. So let's get some of this out of the way so we can attack it. Now it's going to rain. I think for the next 2 days it was cloudy all day, so this one was not in stress at all. I mean, it was full clouds. There, let's get this here. I'm just going to cut all that. Now let's see if we can get inside this. Because this is fierce. It's got a lot of feeder roots, but it's fierce. These roots are really fierce in here. Look at that. Look at that. Really, really, really fierce. Now, I'm going to have to go into here and get this out so I can get something started here. Because this is a tough, tough root system. Tough as nails. Can't believe it. Look at that. I'm going to say, Tom, isn't it too late in the season to do this? No, because it's fall. And it's going to, the roots will grow with the fall weather because it's cooler. But it's also tropical, so I'm going to have it in the basement. So it should be good. Good Lord. This is fierce and a half, these root system. This is a fierce, fierce root system. It's hard to get it apart because I had it in a container too long. I bet you. And the money. Yep, should have repotted it a little earlier. I don't know if you can see it. Let's get this down more. That way there you can see it better. It's really fierce, these roots. I mean, it's like someone with knotted hair. I wish you could put some of that, what do you do after a shampoo to conditioner on there to get loosen up the roots. But I don't think you could do that. I don't think the roots will like it. Take all this out of the way. I'm just going to have to take my ironwood long nose and just skim this top off here. And I have to go drastically on it. Now when you cut, always keep your fingers in so you don't cut your finger off. So I got all that. Let's see. This is really, really, really fierce. I mean, this is a fierce root system. But can we get any more out of it? I don't know. might have to cut it back a little bit more because I'm really taking a lot out of it. So I'm not going to take any more because it's too late in the season. But I will cut it back some more. Paper towels, Tom? Nope, well, that's why God made pants. You wipe your hands in your pants. Okay, I've got my needle nose, and I'm going to go right now to here. I'm going to cut this one down to here. That's a toughie. I don't know if these will root, but we can try. We got the other ones. Put it in. Put it in. Okay. I can't get it anymore. That's about good enough. Let's see how it'll sit in the pot. Well, I'm going to have to cut some more off the bottom just so we can fit it in, and hopefully this will fan out. Scissors won't take it, so I'm going to have to use my needle nose, and yes, I'll resharpen them. There we go. So let's see how our little baby will fit in here. Okay, I think that might work. So, well, I know, no paper towels. You always forgetting, Tom. Well, that's why God made pants. Wipe your hands in your pants. So, here's my mix, how it looks. You can see the bark and everything in there, the pine bark in there, the peat moss and the perlite. I'm just going to put it in the bottom there. Now, let's put this on the side. And now, because this is dry as a bone, I'm going to really wet it in so I can get it in there. Get my cup. Put it in. You're going to say, Tom, it's not going to grow. Well, I got 2 days of cloudy weather. Hopefully, as what the weathermen say, will be right. Let's see. Let's get some more in there. The reason why I'm wetting the bottom here is because this way here, the soil will be wet so the roots know where to go to. So about there. So now, you're going to say, Tim, how come you didn't do it in unnilled sphagnum moss? Well, unnilled sphagnum moss is a pH of 7. And if the, how do I say it? The plant needs an acid-based soil in order to extract the nutrients out of it, because that's what it's grown in, and that's what it's used to growing in. So if the pH is too high, it's not going to be able to take the minerals out, or whatever food it needs. So I'm going to put a generous amount of Mykos on there, if you can see it, to get these roots started. And just put it all on the bottom here. There we go. And the front, well, we got 2 sides there. And right now, I'll cut this big leaf off to like that. So at least we're going to give it a fighting chance and see how it grows. Now, you're supposed to repot these every 2 years. So, we'll see. There. Now, we'll get our soil. Got it in there pretty good. Let's get it all around there. See, this is an old warped wooden, whatchamacallit, turntable. Get them at a garage sale. Even if they're warped like that, why not? Okay. Now, I got my chopstick, so I'm not in your way. Oop. Get it right there. Okay. Fire it in, fire it in. Fire it in, fire it in. Fire it in the best we can into the roots. Use your fingers to push it in. And I say, how come you don't use them fancy bonsai soil mixes? Because I'm doing stuff that people can afford. The soil mixes are good if you got one tree and you're going to just use one or two trees. But for me, doing all this, that's expensive. So you got to be a little frugal and just do what you can do to get by. There we go. And your trees will live. You don't have to be perfect. Okay, so now let's wet it. Now sometimes these plungers on these bottles stick. So what do? How do you get rid of that? Let me go back here. This is like a spray for organic gardeners. It's by Felco. It's a 980 spray. And I use that just to hit the trigger in there after I take the bottle out. And you just squirt it a couple of times, you know, move it a couple of times and it works real good. And you can see the wood chips in there. Okay, so let's put that in, put it in. Use your fingers, put them in. Don't be afraid. You know, say, Tom, you took a chance. Well, what are you going to do? You got to take a chance in life. If you don't take a chance, you're never going to learn. There we go. I can't believe how tough that is. Lord willing, and I'm get 2 springs ahead. Then we'll repot it and see what happens unless the roots really grow fierce in the summer. But I can't believe how nice these roots grew. They're a nice hairy type root. There we go. Just push it in, push it in. Push, push. Fire that thumb in there, fire that thumb in there to get that soil in there. Fire it in. Okay. A little more. Some little spots. But I'm not going to give it real low because I'm going to use my other mix. Okay, let's put this back. I'm going to use my 50-50 mix to do the top of peat moss and torpedo sand. So I'm going to put that on there. Just like that. And it'll give it a fine dressing. Now, if you don't have it, don't worry about it. You can use whatever you want to use on there. You say, Tom, it's a little high. That's all right. Got to get them roots growing. So now, let's give it a good squirt. So then we can push it down. And since it's going to rain tomorrow, I hope that's what they said. It's supposed to rain in the morning and in the afternoon. It's supposed to stay cloudy, so let's get that there. Push it in, push it in, push it in. Don't be afraid to fire your thumb in there. Fire it in, fire it in. I know these were fierce roots, fierce roots, fierce roots. Okay, let's take that out. Clean it with your fingers because you don't have a paper towel. Wipe the hands in the pants. And let's give it a good soaking. A little more water. And because those are pretty big cuts, well, not really big, but I'm going to try. We're going to take our LA colors. A lot of people don't like using lipstick. They'd rather use a cut wax, but hey, lipstick is a natural wax. It goes on strong, stays on for me all winter on my rose bushes when I do my rose bushes. Plus, it gives a little pizzazz to your cutting. Now you can, they do have green lipstick, but the stem's going to turn brown anyway as it gets older. But if you wanted green lipstick, I bet you can get it. I got all colors. There we go. And we can put a little rock here. Right in there. Maybe a little house. And there we are. Our little Cape Jasmine, or Gardenia, or Gardenia Jasminoides. Well, that's the name of it scientifically. But there you go. I wish I could have gotten the roots more, but what are you going to do? Got a little house in there. Let it dress it up. So you know what tonight is? Well, tonight is wipe your hands in your pants night. I'm glad God made pants. Oh, there we go. So today is Thursday night, and it's book night. Get a book, cup of tea ready. If it's hot by you, lemonade. Gets cold, cooler. Turn on the, sit down in your favorite chair. I got a good old rocking chair. Pull out a good book, read for an hour. Sip on some tea and read for an hour. Gets that brain going. Makes you think. Makes you imagine all the good stuff in life. Because too much on the phone and on the computer will drive your brain crazy. So, my name's Tom Novak, and thanks for coming to Growing Clip Bonsai for seniors tonight. You take care, everybody. And we'll fingers crossed on this, and let's see if we can get them the jasmine to root. Take care, everybody.